Woohoo! Now City wanted a Spaniard playing Tiki Taka. Pep didn't want it, he couldn't stand it, he refused to, so I... Now, come on, what was I supposed to do? There was only one man in town, and his big bid was so fine. Pep was appointed to bring back Tiki Taka. He only got the job because Pep had a spatter. His skills as a manager didn't really matter. Pep hates Tiki Taka.
Welcome back to Big Herb the Nerd. As today we have got the end of the season review with the mighty Man City team. So we will see how the Tiki Taka team has played, or the tactic has played, the team has played, and we'll start to put together some ideas for who we want to buy, who we want to sell, you know, so I can go into pre-season with a bit of knowledge. So like I said, if you, so let's start with the Man City end of season rewards. So the fans player of the season was Kevin De Bruyne. Vincent Kompany second, and Kyle Walker third. Kevin De Bruyne with, or De Bruyne, with 41%. It's pretty good. Goal of the season, Gundogan, or Gundogan. I can't forget his name every time, man. Sandro signing the season, and young player of the season, John Stones. Team there, pretty much the team we played. Sterling out on the left instead of Sane, Walker, Sandro, Stones, Kompany. Not bad. Season review. Lost in the semi-final to Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Finished third in the Premier League. Could have won that as well. Fourth round to Fleetwood in the FA Cup. And lost in the quarterfinal to Chelsea. Look at that. We're there or thereabouts. So long. Match of the season. The 5-3 victory against Chelsea. Moment to forget. The 3-0 loss to Manchester United at the beginning of the season. Average attendance, 98% full. 23 players used. Joint 15th highest. So that they're indicating we got no depth. How is he joint 15th highest? It's right near the bottom, isn't it? So yeah, we didn't have a lot of depth in the team, which is bad. Let's have a look at the squad dynamics. Oh my god, and my managerial support is actually average. It's in the green for once. Dressing room atmosphere is good. We'll go into dynamics in a bit more in a second. Let's have a look at... Board request meeting to discuss your position. My position is under serious threat. Let's have a look. Attend this meeting. We're not happy with your current performance, and considering your position at the club, we would like to know why you think the team has performed so badly. So let's go for, we've been lucky in the amount of injuries we've suffered. We will take injury problems into account, but we still want to know how you plan to in team performance. Well, we've brought in, I hope you can afford to sometimes turn this around with problems, but they can be solved quickly and coped. What do I need to do to save my job? We'll give you some more time, but we expect to see you pick up 10 points in the next 5 games. Well, that's good. 10 points from the first 5 games of next year. That'd be good. I can do that. Don't worry. So there we go. Straight away. Next season, we need to get off to a good start. Let's discuss the plans for next season with the team. See how they react, because this could be in telling on who stays and who goes. Let's go for a save our World Reserve break, because we'll be winning the title. There we go. Passionate, that's exactly what I was after. Good, we're all on the same page. Who had the most injuries? Sergio Aguero missed 8 injuries he had. Longest spell was 5 weeks, missed 37% of the season. Who was next? Gundogan. Delph. Oh, sorry, it didn't do too bad. In terms of everybody else, which I know was shown because we got through most of the season alright, but without Sergio Aguero, I mean, top goal scorer, even when he missed 37% of the season, imagine he was here for longer, right? Yearly training summary, that's been a bit hit and miss. And we'll do 5 week. Right, so let's have a look at dynamics then. So, match cohesion is very good. Teams have forged a strong understanding together, so we don't want to rock that too much with too many signings. Dressing room atmosphere is very good. We've had not bad format, and managerial support is good at the moment. Top influencers, Kompany and Aguero. Let's have a look at the actual hierarchy then. So who... Ooh! No players oppose me, which is good. We've got support from Walker, Silva, Bravo, Danilo and Mendy. No one opposes me though, which is good because people did oppose me before. These 3, I think Aguero and Silva both opposed me. Social groups, right. Zinchenko still on the outside. Silva, Aguero. So 2 of our team leaders are actually outside the core group. Walker and Bravo. That's interesting. Secondary group in here. Core social group is probably made up of the guys that will leave. Yaya Touri's likely to go. Well, the rest of them are likely to stay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So let's get into the fun bit then. We'll look at the team stats for these guys. So we'll start with the goalies. We'll work our way through the team. We'll try and pick up who we think should stay, who we think should go. And if we don't run on for too long, we'll also jump into the analysis of the games. Let's pick up some of the good games, some of the bad games, see what worked well, what didn't. So let's start with the goalies then. We'll start with Edison. He played most of the game. So if we go into reports. Oh, stats. So let's have a look at them. We'll look at Carlos Bravo as well. I didn't like Bravo, but we'll have a look, compare them, see how happy we are. So we have 187 shots. A great 72% and shots saved is very, very good. 52 goals conceded. Held percentage is very low. Something we should maybe look to work on with him. Stats aren't. He's much more of a parrier than he is a holder of the ball, which isn't good. It means you give away more goals by pushing the ball away. 13 clean sheets in the Premier League. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Passing percentage, because we've got more short passes, we expect that at 77%. Made one tackle. Won that tackle. That's good. Yeah, 21 clean sheets out of 52 games. Nearly, not far off half. Conceded a goal a game in the Premier League. That's not great, I suppose. Goal a game in the Champions League as well. Would like to see that lower. 13 clean sheets. Saves parried much higher than saves. Saves tipped. Saves parried. Saves held. 4-1. Okay, and then let's have a look at Carlos. Carlos, where are you? No, not Carlos. Claudio Bravo. Stats. So he played. We got 4 clean sheets from 17 games. Pretty much the same. Shot. The percentage much lower on shots saved. Held is just about as bad. Conceded. So 6 appearances. Conceded 5 goals. Overall, he's the same. 1 goal a game. So he's not much better or much worse, but I didn't like Claudio Bravo. Edison is fine. I don't think we want to change our goalie. I'm pretty happy with him. He's only 24. Could be better, but we've got one more season. We don't want to spend money there. So we're pretty happy with Edison. Let's have a look now at defenders. What is that? Columns. So this is my Big Herb Defenders analysis view. These views are saved on Steam. If you get Steam, search Big Herb Nerd, you'll be able to find these views and download them for yourself. But you can go in and make them yourself. It's not difficult. Go in, hit Customize Current View, and select the ones you want. Select the tributes you want to see. So these are just the stats that I feel work for defenders. Cover all areas of defence. So let's have a look. Who played the most games? Vincent Kompany playing the most games, closely followed by John Stones. Alexandre not far behind, and Carl Walker. So average rating, Mangala. 13 appearances for Mangala. 7.67 ratio. Look at the big stats there. Key tackles. John Stones with the most key tackles. Vincent Kompany 51. Otamendi 37 from his 19 appearances. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, Kompany there. Not a big tackler with the ball. Carl Walker 20 from Mangala out of 13 appearances. It's not looking good for Kompany here, is it? Tackle completion ratio. Fabian Delph up there. Vincent Kompany 83%. Stones 82. Otamendi 81. Mangala down at 78. Bit off the pace of everybody else. Carl Walker 79. Danilo 79. Sandro down at 75. Mendy 70. Not a tackler, is he? Tackles per game. Carl Walker and Sandro, those wing backs making most of the tackles. Danilo as well up there on 6. Otamendi 5.95. Mendy 5.92. Right, so Mangala highest tackles per game of the central defenders. Good to see. Kompany only at 4.20 tackles per game. Fouls. Sandro giving away the most fouls, well and away above of Walker. Considering playing the same amount of games, it's a lot of fouls made by Sandro there. He did pick up a lot of yellow cards as well. Central defenders doing well, all around the same. Interceptions. Stones Kompany right at the top there. What we want is the ones that are per 90 minutes. So because we want to look at Mangala here, we want to check that because he played a lot less games, we don't look at the totals, we look at how many per game, so we can judge how well they actually did. So if you actually look, Otamendi comes out at the most interceptions per game. Mangala in at second, 4.92. Stones not far behind. Company 4.4. Company down on tackles. Good tackle percentage, but tackles per game is down. Interceptions per game is down. What does he do in every game, eh? What does he do? And at 32, maybe we go for Mangala and Stones as the first, the starting two with Company in the background. Right, here we go. Header win percentage. 77% for Danilo. Company 76. Benjamin 75. Not high actually. Not great amount of headers. Only in the 70s for defenders. Key headers. Company tops it. Stones second. Otamendi after. But Company way and above for key headers. A lot of those may have been goals as well. Aerial challenges. Right, let's go. Headers 1 per 90 minutes. See, there we go. Per 90 minutes. Mangala there again. Otamendi high as well. Otamendi big on the interceptions. What tackles per game? Yeah, Otamendi the highest centre back on tackles per game as well. Getting well stuck in. Mangala second, Stones third. So Company, although having more key headers, doesn't actually win as many per game. Mistakes from goal, big one for defenders. 3 mistakes from goals for Otamendi. That's a lot of mistakes for a central defender to be making, giving away goals. 1 for Mendy, 1 for Stones, 1 for Walker. Player of the matches, I think Mangala, yeah, picks that up. 3 player of the matches out of 13 appearances is crazy. 2 for Danilo, 2 for Sandro, 2 for Otamendi, 2 for Company. 1, so good defensive record there. Mistakes, this is not mistakes per game. Walker and Stones up there on mistakes. Sandro doing well. Not as many mistakes from Sandro, but lots of fouls. Danilo, Mangala down only 20, but out of 13 games is not good. Otamendi, 39 from 19 games. That's really bad. So we're talking, wow. And Danilo, 20 appearances, 52 mistakes. Same as Sandro, but Sandro played 18 more games. So we're talking double, 2 mistakes a game. These guys are averaging. So so Mangala's actually doing not too bad because he's making less than 2 mistakes a game. Let's look at the pass completion ratio. Passes completed per 90 minutes. Mendy up there, Sandro, Mangala up there, 52. Walker, lots of passes. Surprised to see Stones and Company at the bottom here because they are ball playing defenders. Pass completion ratio, look at it, it's nice and high there, that's good. And then let's have a look at the cross completion ratio for those wide players. Danilo, highest at 13%, Mendy 12%, 10% for Walker, 9% for Sandro. Good amount of crosses made though, 45 and 38 for them both. And then yellow cards, we know Sandro's right up there. Walker not far behind though, 6 cards behind. 1 red card, which was the Sandro. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with defence actually. Happy with the central defenders. Think that we'll go with Mangala and Stones starting defenders next season with Company to back up. We've also got Otamendi in there. So whether we maybe go for 3 at the back and push the wing backs on, maybe. Defensively, we've not been too bad. We've got good defenders, so I don't know if we use them or not. Otamendi could possibly go to 30 now, dropping off the pace and made a lot of mistakes, so we'll see. But I think Mangala and Stones will be starting as the defenders. Happy with the wing backs for now, with Sandro and Walker. Nothing sticks out as being too bad from them, stats-wise. So we'll stick with that for now. We've got Danilo as good backup, and we got Mendy as well. So let's move on to the midfield duo. So let's select midfield. And what we'll look at here is the midfielders that played within that 2 central positions. And then as attackers, we'll look at the top 4 separately. We might include the De Bruyne role in as this midfielder as well, as he should be a playmaker. But we're looking for those 2 inside forwards and strikers to be goal machines. So we'll judge those as wingers or attackers. So let's just have a look at midfielders then. We'll set the midfield analysis up. Look at appearances. Fernandinho making the most appearances, 47. De Bruyne, 44 after that. Silva, 41 with average rating. De Bruyne up there, 7.61. Fabian Delph, second. Interesting. Sandro being counted as midfielder. Stroutman. Look at goals for midfield. Oh, Silva's in there. So De Bruyne got 16 goals from that attacking midfield role, 11 assists. Sterling's right. So we're going to judge this. De Bruyne looking like he's going to be an attacker. So we'll judge it on just those midfield two. So let's drop down. Fernandinho, the first one appearing on there. 5 goals, 3 assists. Gundogan, 3 goals, 5 assists. Silva, 2 goals, 1 assist. So Fernandinho and Gundogan, or Gundogan, playing the most games, 47 and 40. Silva, 19. Delph only played 3. That was it really for the midfield. And Stroutman, only 5 appearances. Didn't play a lot then when I brought him in. So if we look at assists per 90 minutes, it's not really a big one for those midfield two. Stroutman up there, 0.7. 1 assist in these games. Gundogan, 0.3. So they're not assist makers. It's more going to be around the passes, isn't it? There we go. Chances created per 90 minutes. This is the big one. So we've got David Silva, half a chance every 90 minutes. Stroutman, 0.34. Gundogan, low. Fernandinho even lower than that. Key passes per 90 minutes. Silva up there, 1.5 per 90 minutes. That's good. Gundogan 1. Stroutman 1. Fernandinho, if he really sits back in that defensive role, but he's a deep line playmaker, so he should be still making plays, just more defensively. Passes completed per 90 minutes. Gundogan up there, top 95 passes completed per 90 minutes. Silva 76 is a big gap. Stroutman 74. Fernandinho 65. Fernandinho may be dropping out this season because we don't need that defensive midfielder, especially if we keep the defenders back. Key tackles. Fernandinho with 6. Gundogan with 3. Tackle completion ratio. Gundogan 87. Stroutman 87. Fernandinho 79. So these guys who potentially will be coming in and playing that position, much better tackling in that defensive role that Fernandinho has been playing. Thought he played well, but not necessarily getting the stats for it. Look at, here we go. Now look at tackles per game. Fernandinho right up there, 6.21 tackles per game. Stroutman 5.81 in the 5 appearances he's made. Gundogan 4 underneath. So Stroutman could be the guy to step in for Fernandinho. We'll see. That is who I bought him in to replace. At 28, he'd be in his peak now. Fernandinho dropping off on stats a little bit, so could bring in Stroutman to replace Fernandinho. Interceptions, Fernandinho right up there at top. Interceptions per 90 minutes, yep, Fernandinho. Gundogan, a massive drop between Fernandinho. Let's look at mistakes overall. Gundogan and Fernandinho. Not too bad. Maybe a few too many from Gundogan. Let's go Stroutman. Stroutman made 9 mistakes in his 5 games. It's just that 2 a game. We're looking at Gundogan's making over 2 a game. Fernandinho, just over 2 a game. So not bad. Aerial challenges per 90 minutes. Fernandinho, highest from the central defenders at 3. So headers 1 per 90 minutes as well. So we're not winning. Fernandinho, 2. Headers 1 per 90 minutes. We're not big on headering in those midfield guys. Gundogan 1.5. Silva 1. We've got very small central midfielders. So Stroutman 1. Something we may need to look at there. Okay, let's look at shots on target per 90 minutes. Where are these guys shooting? I know Gundogan and some of the other guys did. Delph up the hem, 1.2. Fernandinho the first one. Fernandinho had the most shots over Gundogan, Silva, Stroutman. Okay, if we look at dribbles per game as well, none of the guys from central midfield really making runs. Silva the most. Gundogan a bit more. But we don't expect them to dribble that much, being as we've got them on short passing on tactic. So, playing matches. Gundogan 2. Highest up there. Any problems with yellow cards? Fernandinho 19. Nice. But that in that tackling role. And then if we're looking at Gundogan 2, Stroutman 1. Okay. Nothing too much to worry about there. Okay, so for those midfield 2, we're pretty happy, I think. Fernandinho probably dropping out this season with Stroutman coming in. We'll work on the Gundogan role. Whether it is a Gundogan, Silva to rotate in there as well. So we've got the 3 to rotate. Yaya should go. Silva will be back up then. So we'll have Stroutman with Fernandinho back up. So we've got enough in there. I think we're okay central midfield wise. Nothing too much sticking out there. I think Stroutman will be very influential next year, just as Fernandinho has been. So let's now have a look at the attacking guys. Okay, here we are. We have the strikers and the front field players. I apologise for the jumps and the cuts in this video. I've got man flu still. I'm trying to record this, and all the talking is just throwing me into fits of coughing fits. So yeah, if it keeps jumping, apologies. I need to get this done because I want to get on with the preseason. So yeah, it may jump around a little bit. So here we are looking at the attacking force, that front point and De Bruyne, that front diamond that we have going on. So if we look at appearances, we had Gabriel Jesus, 46 appearances, most appearances of the side, 44 from De Bruyne, 41 from Bernardo Silva. Some of the other guys that can play there included, but we'll ignore them for now. Average rating, De Bruyne, 7.61, it's good. So goals, big stat here. 22 goals from 32 games for Sergio Aguero. What a beast. Shame he was injured as much, because I think we could have had a much different season if he had been fully fit throughout. 21 from Gabriel Jesus, which is really good as well. 21 from 46 games. Not as prolific, but he's still got a way to go. Only 21, so we will need to ease him in. Yeah, maybe we need to find a place for Gabriel Jesus next year. Do we change the formation? Do we stop it being an attacking midfielder, a striker and two wingers? Do we go for inside forwards? Do we go for two up top maybe? Maybe two attacking midfielders, drop the width on the wings, just use the wing backs. We'll analyse who played well and who didn't play well, and then we'll have to make some decisions. And it may be based on who we can get in for depth, because if we go for two up front, we definitely need some more strikers in. Definitely a poacher, someone that can just score goals for fun. So let's have a look at 22 goals. Next was Bernardo Silva, 17 goals. Good from the wing. Very good amount of goals from the wing. Only 4 off Gabriel Jesus in 5 less games. Kevin De Bruyne is 16. Very good amount of goals, again, coming from that attacking midfield position. 9 from Raheem Sterling. Only had half the games of Silva. 7 from Sane. Again, well, actually, a bit more than half of the games. So they're getting goals. Shots, goals per 90 minutes. That's what we like to see. Sergio Aguero, 0.71. Nearly every goal a game. Gabriel Jesus a lot lower down. Silva a lot lower down. Sane, much of the pace. So the problem with the left hand side is they're not getting enough goals. With hopefully Sanchez, if we can get him in, will come in and fill that gap there. Shots on target per 90 minutes. Who's testing the net? Oh, Zinchenko up there. Needs 2 appearances and 10 sub appearances. Raheem Sterling, 1.37. Sane. So actually, the guys on the left are having a lot of shots on target. They're not converting them, which is a worry. Which is that problem about being having the composure to finish. Sergio Aguero 1.6, and he's got 22 goals. These guys 1.37 shots on target, but only scoring 0.34. So they're wasting a whole shot. Well, essentially, yeah. They're getting more shots on target, not getting enough goals from those shots. Gabriel Jesus, same amount of shots on target, a lot more, got nearly double the amount of goals per game. So that is a worry. Bernardo Silva again, less shots on target per game, but converts them when he does get them, and even better from De Bruyne there. So that left midfield position we know is a problem. Sane and Sterling both there. We probably won't need them both going forward. We need to make maybe some tough decisions about those two. Let's have a look at shots per 90 minutes. We don't really need to see that. Shots on target ratio. Sane 70%. Again, lots of shots on target. It's not going in though. Sergio Aguero 54. Sterling 51. Zinchenko 50. It's not as much. Offsides. Gabriel Jesus 35. Silva 31. Sane 26. Aguero down at 25. For someone who's so rapid, he does not play off the last man. Which is maybe we played him as a complete forward, I suppose, didn't we? And a trick artist before that. Maybe if we played him further forward, he would have got more goals and got a few more offsides. But it's interesting to see that he likes to drop back further, where Gabriel Jesus plays more on the front line. Assists. 13 from Silva, 13 from Gabriel Jesus, 12 from Sane, 11 from De Bruyne, 10 from Sterling, 8 from Aguero. They are real good numbers from all those supporting players. Assists per 90 minutes. Sane up there. So not getting the goals, but getting assists from that position. So we need to understand and decide where do we want the assists to be coming from. Is it from those guys, or do we want them scoring goals? Sterling next on there. So what they've lacked in goals per game, they've made up for in assists. But that jump between Bernardo Silva and Raheem Sterling and Leroy Sané isn't big enough, really, is it? Bernardo Silva on 13 assists and 17 goals. Raheem Sterling on 10 assists and 9 goals. So, not quite good enough, is it? Not quite good enough, I don't think. Number of chances created per 90 minutes. De Bruyne, nearly one. 0.89. Aguero, 0.78. Silva, 0.74. Sterling, 0.72. Sané, 0.70. So they're not far off creating chances as well. They're making chances. Just not quite got that clinical finish. Gabriel Jesus, way off the pace. Should be much better, actually. Key passes per 90 minute. De Bruyne right up there. Or De Bruyne, sorry. Passes completed per 90 minutes. Don't need to worry about so much about that with the attackers. Aerial challenges per 90 minutes. So they're winning headers. Headers 1 per 90 minutes. Sané wins the most headers. Silva not far off. De Bruyne. Sergio Aguero all the way down there. But I think Sergio Aguero goes for the most, attempts the most, but doesn't win them all. Not surprising, really, is it? Poor Sergio. Right, cross completion ratio. De Bruyne, 26%. Wow. 28 crosses completed. Silva, 17. Sergio Aguero, let's look down. Bernardo Silva, 13%. Sterling, 12%. Sané down at 8%. Ooh, so he's not very good at putting the ball in. He's got dribbles per game. Sané up there. He runs with the ball rather than passing it clearly. Sterling not far behind. Silva. Those guys doing the leg work out wide. Okay. So we want more goals. Do we go for... Well, Bernardo Silva's quite good. Do we go for wingers rather than inside forwards? Go for 2 strikers. Don't have the advanced playmaker. Have the advanced playmaker make it still? There's a lot of questions around who we can bring in and what we go to next. We've got Gabriel Jesus, who we should be bringing in more. We've got Aguero. Do we go for a couple of strikers and make sure we've got some backup for those two? Play 2 up top. Maybe drop De Bruyne into that midfield mix. So he's fighting for places with Stroutman, Goodwin. Who's the other one we've got in the middle? I can't remember who the other one is now. Or do we leave him in that advanced playmaker position and maybe move around the strikers, bring some of them forward? If we do it that way, stay with this formation we've got this year. Sanchez coming on the left could help if he can create and score goals. Bernardo Silva seems to does a bloody good job out on the right. I'm happy with his performance. Leaves Sterling and Sané out of the mix at the moment. So we'll play around with some. We'll see who's available, who we can get hold of. But it might come down to... We need to get at least one backup striker. Because Aguero and Jesus aren't enough to keep us going. Where is Gabriel Jesus' best role? And do we change the way we play then? With 2 up top. Lots of questions. What's the best way of playing Tiki Taka? Should be a 4-3-3 ordinarily, so we could drop them down. But I'll have to have a think. We'll have a think of how we want to play, how we want to get through. So that runs up the team analysis for the first season. We may do a separate... I'll go and look at the match game, the match analysis outside of here when looking at players. But I think we're happy with the back 4. I think we're happy with the midfield. It's just whether we start playing around with this now. Do we go 2 up top? Do we change these from inside forwards to wingers? Do we drop De Bruyne back, play with a more standard 4-3-3? Didn't work when we started the season. But let's have a look at who we can get in. We've got to go for Sanchez out on the left. And we'll go for definitely a striker, having a look at who's around. The rest is up for grabs at the moment. The rest is definitely up for grabs. But we will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I do apologise for the cuts due to my cold. And please do smash this video if you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. And I shall see you next time for the first game of the second season with Manchester City. The last season with Manchester City. As we try to perfect this Tiki Taka and win. Well, we've got to win everything next year. We're going for the full sweep. EFL, Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League. We're going for that quadruple. We want it. So I shall see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.